Hello, everybody, and welcome to Church at Home with Rachel for Wednesday the 11th, I think. No, Wednesday the 10th of December. I'm trying to push the week through faster than it needs to go. Today, I'd like to talk about RSVP. Respondez-vous, s'il vous plaît. I mean, please respond. RSVPs are things that we do when we have been invited to something. When someone emails us and says, or sends us a card, or calls us and says, "Will you come to something?" On Monday night, Rob and I had to RSVP ahead of time to our condominium Christmas party, for which we wore our funky Christmas sweaters, and had a great time chatting with all the old people. And now I'm feeling very much like when I kind of slow down a little bit for Christmas, and have some time at home to do some baking, I need to start doing some baking because people have been dropping off cookies and stuff at our doors, and now it's our turn to reciprocate. We sent an RSVP for that. We had on Monday morning, or Monday at noon, I had a lunch at this incredible restaurant called the Lady of the Lake, in Brandon, and it's a place. It's very it's not elegant. It's comfortable. It's casual, but it has opportunities for things like afternoon tea. But we had the cathedral chapter of canons. So the dean and I hosted our canons, the ones from from the south. The ones from the north weren't able to make it, Canon Flora Young and Canon Jim Sees, but we had Canon Peter Hordern and Canon Jim Brown and Canon Joy Ruddick and our visiting Canon Rob Parker, all for lunch, just to celebrate and say Merry Christmas and appreciate them and what they do for the church. And so we asked that they RSVP ahead of time so we know how many people to make a reservation for. Floating around on my desk is this incredible RSVP from this past Thanksgiving for Luke and Catherine's wedding, um, which happened on October 11th. It was an incredible day, incredible weekend to go back to Halifax, see family and friends. Um, None of them are blood family, but many of them are family. But to be able to go back and the RSVP is still sitting on my desk. Um, Not intentionally, but I think probably because subconsciously it's a reminder to me of people who are very important to me. And we had to RSVP. They would be coming to their wedding, which is good because I did the wedding itself. Um, it's important that we RSVP, and I think we're living in a secular society in which those kinds of things seem to be falling by the wayside. Those niceties of life, the little etiquette things, holding a door open for someone as they're coming through the door behind you, or which fork or knife to use at a fancy dinner, how to answer the phone, leaving messages. I am related to someone, a spouse, who really hates leaving messages on phones and then gets upset because people don't call him back. It's like if you don't know, he also doesn't listen to messages, which is a pain. So I seldom leave messages anymore. But it's like the etiquette things, those things that we are losing that help to keep our society floating gently. The etiquette, for instance, of driving. We are in a world where we have lots of advanced green lights, right? Like you come up to light, it's red, you're turning left, and some streets when it's really busy, they'll have an advanced green, so you have opportunity to go, and then it goes yellow, and then everybody gets to go, and you have to wait your turn if you didn't get there. Um, Unfortunately, there are many people now who think that getting to the advanced screen on the yellow means that they should go, which actually means stop and slow down because it doesn't mean speed up. Because it means that it's about to go green for the other people and they might hit you. The other thing I've noticed is that when you're trying to turn left and you've been waiting and you know you're probably going to be the only one, you've been sitting there for a long time, it's going yellow, so you've inched out, you're ready to go, and that person who you can see coming through the straightaway coming from the other direction, who has had lots of time to see the yellow and to stop, guns it, speeds up and goes through, and making you, often they go through on the red, making you have to turn left on a red, which also means the people who now have a green coming this way have to pay attention they don't T-bone you as well. Etiquette. Etiquette, people. I know I'm preaching to the choir. For those of you who watch these videos, you are people of etiquette. I know that. But how do we share it with others? But getting back to the RSVP thing, RSVPs are not just etiquette. RSVPs are reminders to ourselves that we have something important coming up. We have something that's either important to us or important to somebody else that they need to know, or we need to know that we are going, that we have committed ourselves. So when you reply to an RSVP in the affirmative that you're coming, then you might mark it on your calendar, or put it in your phone, wherever you get your reminders of what's happening and when things are going to come. And the idea being that when you do that, it marks it as something important. You have RSVP'd. You have respondez-vous, si vous faites. You have done the work of saying, I have the time, I have the desire, I want to go, I will go, and I've let the person who's hosting know that I'll go. And I've let myself know that this is now important to me. I've got to book the time. I've got to make sure I'm on time. I've got to, if I have to take anything, I've got it ready to go. I'm wearing appropriate clothing, all those things. We RSVP. Well, I think there comes a time in life when we have to recognize that for our own selves and our own the etiquette of the way we live our lives, we need to RSVP as well. We need to RSVP to our own lives. It can become really easy, especially, this day and age where we're sort of overwhelming the world around us, people making decisions, the things that are happening can be really difficult to sort of get yourself going in the morning and say, yes, I am going to participate in life. I think sometimes we need to, like, in all seriousness, RSVP to our own lives. Pick that thing, even if it's only once a week, that you say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to go to the library, or I'm going to go and say hello to my neighbor, or I'm going to go for a drive, or I'm going to take an hour and read that book that I really just haven't had time to read, or I'm going to sit on the deck and watch the cardinals play in the snow while I'm all bundled up with a thermos of hot chocolate. RSVP, making a plan for yourself, and RSVPing to yourself. Say, Rachel, you're going to do this thing. Like, for instance, I'm going to tell you right now, before Friday night, I am going to make sure that I take at least 1 hour to get out a book, my Christmas reading book, and sit in my big gray chair that's big enough for me and Skunk, and with a cup of hot chocolate and some marshmallows, and I'm just going to sit and have right in front by the Christmas tree, and I'm going to make an appointment with myself. Let's see, what day is today? Wednesday? Thursday night. Tonight I have hockey. Thursday night, I'm going to take an hour for myself after I do the dishes, sit in my chair in the light of the twinkling lights of the Christmas tree, and read my book for an hour and drink my hot chocolate. And if it turns into an hour and a half, well, so be it. But I'm RSVPing to myself. I'm making a point of it. And I will even put it in my day timer to make sure, as soon as I finish this video, to make sure that I know that I've scheduled it for myself and I have RSVP'd. We all need to RSVP to our lives. We have to be intentional about making decisions and following through with them on things that are healthy for us. It's really easy to RSVP for every other thing that comes up for everybody else. But how often do we take time to RSVP to ourselves? How often do we take time to RSVP in such a way that we are acknowledging that what we're doing, who we are, is as important as other people? It's really important. So we need to RSVP for ourselves. And then I would also suggest that we need to RSVP to God. We need to say, hey, God, I'm checking in. I know you've invited me to do some things. I know you've invited me to walk with you, to come closer to you in relationship. And I am RSVPing. I am RSVPing that I will go to church on Sunday, or I'll go and sit and pray, or I'll journal, or I'll simply meditate. But I will offer you my intention, my promise that I will take time with you sometime this week to do something spiritually intentional. I am RSVPing, and my word is my bond. So I have RSVP'd to myself that I will take an hour to read on Thursday. I'm going to RSVP myself as well to say, I'm going to take an hour on Friday in the evening where I'm just going to sit quietly and pray and listen and read scripture separate from everything else I normally do, because I need to RSVP to God in this holy season of preparation for the coming again of Christ. I need to remember how important it is that I check in with God and follow through. So, how will you RSVP to yourself this week? How might you RSVP to God? Doesn't have to be hard, but does have to be intentional. Have a great week, and I hope you RSVP to check in with me tomorrow. God bless. Have a good day.